Gee, it's been a busy one for you guys. Talk us through when the tropical cyclone made landfall and what we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Tropical Cyclone Jasper cross the coast yesterday evening around 9 o'clock Queensland time near Cape Tribulation, which is just north of Port Douglas, and it slowly made its way inland since then overnight and into this morning. And it has weakened away from tropical cyclone status. That often happens quite quickly when these systems move away from the ocean and over the land, but it has brought significant widespread heavy rain and will continue to do so. We've seen some areas get upwards of 400 millimetres of rain over 24 hours, and that is so much wet weather. That's a lot of rainfall. The heaviest falls have been around the Daintree area, and that has sparked a major flood warning for the Daintree River, and there's a number of other minor and moderate flood warnings throughout North Queensland. Lots of rain and trees down through Port Douglas. We've seen some pretty windy conditions and quite a lot of rainfall through Cairns as well, and anticipating further wet weather through most of the day today, and in fact most of the day on Friday as well. So even though we've seen the move away from tropical cyclone to now ex-tropical cyclone Jasper, still a lot of severe weather, a lot of heavy rainfall over the cards over the next 48 hours as the system slowly moves across North Queensland.
And could this now intensify as it continues moving?
So over the next couple of days, we don't anticipate any intensification of the storm, but it will continue to bring persistent heavy rainfall through many of these North Queensland areas. Those spots that have already had 200, 300, 400 millimetres of rain might get another 200 or 300 millimetres over the next couple of days. So it's going to be more rain onto these wet places, onto these swollen rivers already. So it will be very wet. In the slightly longer term future, there is a chance that we could see Jasper move out over the Gulf and over those warm Gulf waters. It's possible that we'll see some re-intensification. That would be a number of days down the line. So over the next couple of days, our main focus is on the persistent heavy rain across North Queensland at the moment.
So we've already seen a few hundred millimetres of rain falling. We've got some warnings in place. What are we expecting over the next 24 to 48 hours in terms of those factors, rainfall and these warnings?
Yeah, it really does look like rainfall is the main issue at the moment. We have had some strong winds. We've seen a lot of trees down and thousands of people without power. So wind is also a factor, but it is the persistent heavy rainfall, 40 millimetres, 50 millimetres, 60 millimetres in an hour. And it's not just 1 hour either. The rain is falling hour after hour after hour for some of these North Queensland places, particularly along the coastline. As mentioned earlier, we have seen at least one major flood warning for the Daintree River. There's a lot of other rivers up there that will we're expecting to get minor, moderate or even further major flood warnings in places this river falls across the catchments. So people up in that part of the country, please do listen to emergency services. There have been a few evacuations already overnight as some of those rivers have started to get up and spill into some of those more urban areas.
Angus Hines, thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
OK, talking about all of that rain, but there's been some action weather-wise, Nate, around the rest of the country as well.
Yeah, certainly. And Angus was saying that, you know, the focus now, the flooding, but it's still a dangerous situation right now. Getting to the maps briefly, and I will take you through the capitals. We're looking at still more wet and windy weather up in Cairns, Townsville as well. But for the capitals around the rest of the nation, it's getting to 34 in Brisbane, a fine day there. We've got a stormy 37 for Sydney, 30 in Canberra, a cooler 25 for Melbourne today. Some showers around for Hobart, 23 will be the top, 22 in Adelaide with some falls there, fine and 29 in Perth, and up top Darwin's getting to 35 with showers and storms. Now, the focus certainly still remains in the north, and you can see that track taking the system across the peninsula. Now, those warnings Angus was talking about remain in place for large parts of the top of Queensland, but we've still got heatwave conditions in the north and in the east as well, and some extreme fire danger for New South Wales too.